What's up guys, it's Endymion, and today I want to talk about the Reapers, but more importantly the major flaw in their plan that's always puzzled me. Or maybe it's something more. That's what I want to discuss today, so let's begin. So as we all know, the Reapers have been harvesting all organic life in the Milky Way every 50,000 years for who knows how long. The intelligence in Mass Effect 3 who created the Reapers believed the only solution to maintain organic life from going wildly out of control was to treat the cycles of life similar to how a farmer would their crops. See, to put the Reapers' harvest in a simple way to understand, think of organic life in the galaxy like a crop field. That life is nurtured and maintained by the farmer by having the farmer carefully lead their crops on a path of growth that the farmer dictates. The farmer will water their crops, prune the dead ones, and slowly through time, care, and dedication foster entire acres of viable life over time. Eventually though, the time comes when the farmer needs to harvest those crops for that current cycle and make way for new crops, or organic life in the Reaper's sense. While this analogy and thought process makes sense in terms of what the intelligence thought would solve their problem, it still leaves a big question in the grand scheme of things, and a rather worrying theory that I'll discuss later in this video. See, we know that the Reapers wanted to control and harvest all organic life every cycle and contain the genetic remains of every harvest within each newly built Reaper. However, even being a massive fleet of spooky space monsters, they still had many flaws. For starters, we have the Andromeda Initiative, which somehow during the time between Mass Effect 2 and 3, when the Initiative fled the Milky Way, made their way to the Andromeda system without as little as any resistance, interception, or any involvement by the Reapers. How? How could the Reapers overlook such a critical oversight in letting spacefaring civilizations of multiple different races the chance of leaving the harvest in search of new homes? And because of this, how many other races have done the very same thing in the past as well? Some fans believe the Jardan are a race that escaped the Reaper's harvest in a previous cycle. Others believe the Ket could have done the same thing. I've even seen theories and discussions believing the Protheans, being the most technologically advanced race in a cycle according to themselves and the Reaper's records, may have escaped at least a small portion of their people to a safe haven somewhere in another galaxy. So where am I going with this? Well, if the Reapers plan to harvest and control their field of crops, or organic life in this sense, was to ensure that new organic life could sprout in the future without the involvement or interference of more powerful organic life, well, the existence of the Jardan and Ket prove that the Reaper's plan was technically all null and void in the end. Because if we can assume that the Reapers are only harvesting and holding the Milky Way galaxy in their control, that still leaves places like Andromeda and beyond to flourish, evolve, and become technologically superior over thousands or even millions of years without the threat of being harvested, since the Reapers, to our knowledge anyway, only operated within the Milky Way and nowhere else. And we saw what happens when a united galaxy of various races assembled, because the Reapers were ultimately defeated by races whose technology was only developed within that 50,000 year time frame. Although, yes, the Crucible was technically a generation-wide joint project that somehow the Reapers never intercepted or destroyed, again playing into the fact that the Reapers were not exactly all-knowing as they seemed to be anyway, as it led to their eventual death. But why were the Reapers harvesting the Milky Way only? There's a few theories I have to this. For one, it's simply that the intelligence was programmed to only care about the Milky Way by the Leviathans in its initial design, and that's that. But if the Reapers have been around for millions of years, the likelihood of a reverse Andromeda Initiative event must have happened at least a few times. And if those other mysterious races from other galaxies arrived here, presumably without any interference that came close to the Reapers, these other technologically advanced races could have, in theory, wiped out the Reapers due to their millions of unrestricted eons of technological development. Or, and this is the more tantalizing theory, what if the Reapers knew of something that was coming to the Milky Way and its surrounding areas, and knew that nothing could stop it, and saw the only solution to the survival and preservation of life was to harvest that life and seal it away within the Reapers, in the hopes that whatever the Reapers saw or knew about was so devastating and so powerful that even the combined might of unrestricted technological races and the Reapers couldn't hope to face them. I know this all sounds wild, and this video is kind of going in a lot of directions. However, I want to point to a system that was developed here on Earth to explain what I mean. Here's the KARDASHEV scale, which is a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy it is able to use. Yes, I pulled that sentence straight from the Wikipedia page on this, cause whatever. There are 3 types of civilizations on the KARDASHEV scale. Mostly. Type 1 is a civilization that can basically manipulate and control large-scale usage of fusion power. The Asari, Solarians, and maybe even the Turians, while I wouldn't 100% they are of this type, they are close to achieving it or have already in some form. Then there's Type 2 civilizations, which is basically the same as Type 1, but these civilizations have successfully harnessed and developed ways of controlling the various kinds of energy like nuclear and so on not just one planet, but on multiple planets or planetary systems. A very simple way of looking at a Type 2 civilization would be something like the Jardan and their mastery of Meridian and the Remnant tech. The Jardan were able to solve terraforming and the viability of sustaining life on planets with technology so advanced, you could basically call it magic in the eyes of the Andromeda Initiative due to how insanely powerful and complex it is. But then there's Type 3 civilizations. As of now, we haven't, to my knowledge anyway, ran into anything of this magnitude within Mass Effect. As the KARDASHEV scale dictates, a Type 3 civilization would apply the mastery of energy, but not across a single planet or system, but entire galaxies or multiple galaxies. A Type 3 civilization would be so advanced that their means of doing what they do would be seen in the eyes of the Type 1s or 2s to be borderline godlike. Type 3 civilizations, according to the KARDASHEV scale, theorize that these civilizations would be able to control and siphon the energy released not just from stars, but literal supermassive black holes. We're talking civilizations so advanced that going to war with them would be equivalent to you fighting a single ant in a giant empty white room. The ant would stand literally no chance, as you would just stomp it and that would be the end of it. A civilization this powerful could use their mastery of Mass Effect fields to bend space-time and use black holes to swallow entire star systems or galaxies without even needing to resort to war. I know this is a weird analogy, but think of yourself standing in your bathroom staring at your toilet, and there's a bug in the toilet bowl. You wouldn't need to fight it or wrestle with it. You would simply lean over, flick the handle, and flush away the bug. Now take that analogy, but the bug is the Milky Way. The person is the Type 3 civilization, and the toilet bowl sucking in the bug is, well, a black hole. It would be effortless, and the bug would be at the complete mercy of the person flicking the lever. That's a Type 3 civilization's level of power. The Reapers would be kind of like a swarm of ants to a Type 3 civilization. They couldn't hope to stop them. Okay, so why did I just go into a huge rant about the KARDASHEV scale, toilet bowls, and ants getting sucked into watery graves? Well, like I've said in the beginning of this video, looking at the Reaper's supposed solution to organic life, it completely ignores the possibility that a Type 2 or 3 civilization couldn't just arrive from the vastness of space and completely and utterly wipe out the Reapers, the Council races, and everything else in an instant, making all the Reapers' efforts null and void. However, if the Reapers were able to sense or discover the presence of something similar to that of a Type 3 civilization, maybe the Reapers saw the only salvation of organic life was to harvest that life and hide it within the dark corners of space, waiting in utter silence and hoping that a race of the Type 3 level wouldn't find and destroy them. It would make what the Reapers are doing basically an act of mercy in their flawed eyes, as nothing could even hope to face a Type 3. My previous video theorized that the Scourge could be the overarching villain, or maybe villain is the wrong term. More like major problem plaguing the universe as it slowly and maliciously swallows and corrupts the space-time fabric of the universe until it leads to a big crunch event. Or maybe the next game has the galaxies of the Milky Way and Andromeda assembling because something far out in the abyss has been watching us, and it saw that we overcame the Reapers finally, and now it wants to make contact. It could be something old, ancient, something we don't understand, something that makes the Leviathans look like lapdogs in comparison. Maybe what's out there in the vastness of space isn't just a threat, but our end. After all, what could be worse than the Reapers? Well guys, that's the video. What do you think of a Type 3 civilization level threat in the future? Is it too much? Or can you not wait to kill it? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, subscribe. Thanks. I'm Endymion. A channel update and face reveal is coming. Looking forward to getting roasted by you guys. And I'm closing in on 2,000 subscribers, which is my goal for 2021, so that's pretty dope. It means a lot. Maybe I'll do a video in the future looking further into the KARDASHEV scale. Type 5 or 6 civilizations? Oof, let me know. I'll see you in the next one.